The next time you see a car drive by, or even just a bicycle, I want you to really look at the wheels, seriously. Because there's a fascinating physics riddle hidden right there in plain sight, something you've probably seen 1,000 times and never really thought about. Today we're going to unravel that very riddle.
Okay, so let's just jump right into it. Here's the big question. Is the top of a moving wheel actually going faster than the bottom? Think about it for a second. When you see a car zoom past, the top of the wheel seems to blur into a streak, right? But the bottom, down by the road, looks way clearer. So what's your gut tell you? Is it a trick of the eye?
And hey, if you've noticed that, you are absolutely not imagining things. It's a real visual effect. As one person perfectly put it, the upper spokes seem to merge, whereas the lower spokes can be made out quite distinctly. That little visual clue, well, that's the key to this whole thing.
And the answer is a big, surprising yes. It is not an optical illusion. The very top of a rolling wheel is moving way faster than the bottom. Now, I know that sounds completely counterintuitive, but stick with me here, because the explanation is actually beautiful in its simplicity.
So the secret to cracking this whole thing is realizing that a rolling wheel isn't just doing one thing. Nope, it's actually performing two totally different motions at the exact same time. And once you can see these two motions separately, the whole puzzle just clicks into place.
All right, first up we've got what's called translation. This part's easy. Just picture the wheel isn't spinning at all. Maybe it's just sliding forward on ice. The axle, the rim, every single point on that wheel is moving forward at the exact same speed as the car. Simple enough, right?
But of course, a wheel also spins. That's our second motion, rotation. Every point on the outside of the wheel is constantly circling around the middle axle. If the car was up on a jack and the wheels were spinning freely, this is the only motion you'd see.
So here's the crucial part. For a wheel that's actually rolling on the ground, you have to add these two motions, that forward translation and the circular rotation, together. Every single point on that wheel is experiencing both of them at once.
Okay, we've got our two separate motions. Now, let's put them together. This is where it gets really, really cool, because the way they combine is completely different at the top of the wheel compared to the bottom. Okay, get ready for the aha moment. At the very top of the wheel, think about it. The forward motion of the car and the forward spin of the wheel, they're on the same team. They're going in the same direction, so their speeds add up, making it go super fast. But at the bottom, they're fighting each other. The car is moving forward, but that part of the wheel is spinning backwards relative to the direction of travel. The motions are opposite, so they subtract, making that point move incredibly slowly.
But you know what? You don't have to just take my word for it. You don't have to trust the math. You can prove this to yourself with a ridiculously simple little experiment. All you need is something with wheels.
Here's all you gotta do. First, stick something in the ground, like a little stick, right next to the wheel's center. Then, with some chalk or tape, make one mark at the very top of the tire and another one at the very bottom. Now, just push the vehicle forward a little bit, maybe a foot or so, and watch what happens to your marks.
And what you'll see is amazing. The top mark will have traveled a really noticeable distance away from that stick, while the bottom mark has barely moved at all. It's the proof, right there. In the same amount of time, the top of the wheel covered way more ground, which means it had to be going faster.
But wait, we are not quite done. There is one final, kind of mind-bending twist to all of this. If we know that top is the fastest part, well, that leads to a pretty obvious question, doesn't it?
We already know the bottom is moving really slowly, because those two motions nearly cancel each other out. But just how slow is very slow? What is the absolute slowest part of a rolling wheel?
Believe it or not, the answer is 0. For one tiny, infinitesimal moment, a part of that moving wheel is perfectly still.
That's right. At the exact moment a point on the tire touches the road, its forward speed is perfectly canceled out by its backward spinning speed. Relative to the ground, it's not moving at all. For a split second, that spot is the wheel's motionless anchor to the world. Wild, isn't it?
Now, this is super important to remember. This whole thing only applies to a wheel that is rolling along a surface. If you got a wheel just spinning in the air, like a car on a lift or a bike flipped upside down, every single point on the outside is moving at the exact same speed. The still point only exists when you combine that forward motion with the rotation.
And there you have it, the cartwheel riddle solved. It kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other incredible secrets of physics are just hiding all around us, in the most common, everyday objects, just waiting for us to notice?